And that's all for now. It's Elegbete TV Radio. Follow us on social media at Elegbete TV Radio.
What's up, y'all? This is Tupac.
Hey, this is Lady Gaga. What's up, y'all? I'm Beyonce.
This is the Basement Jackets. It's your boy, the Baby Bash.
Hey, this is Justin Bieber. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Kelly Clarkson.
Hey, what's up? This is 50 Cent. This is your boy, Flo Rida. Believe that.
Yo, what's the deal? This is Ja Rule.
What up? This is Kesha.
This is David Get Up.
What's up with Destiny's Child?
This your boy, Drake.
Hi, this is Rihanna.
Hey, this is Ty Cruz. Yo, what up? It's Big Snoop Dogg. Cracking like it, y'all. This your boy, Twista in the house.
Hey, this is Taylor Swift, and you're listening to Erik. Thank you.
You're listening to. Check this out. You're checking out on this.
My name is Frank Idimudia Alapa, that's my name. Talking sports is my game, and I am the greatest. I love listening to Elegbete TV Radio. For undiluted, unadulterated, it's probably replicated but still not yet duplicated. It's sports only on Elegbete TV Radio. I seriously love listening to it.
Hello, everybody. What's up, people? My name is Timmy Dakolo, and you're listening to Elegbete TV Radio. Stay tuned.
TV Radio. Redefining broadcasting. Listen. You're listening to Elegbete TV and Radio.
All right, good morning and welcome to the Monday edition of the Sports Buffet on Elegbete TV Radio. My name is Daffy Matthew. So you have to come in Elegbete on the Sports. Wherever you are, let's have some fun for the next 1 hour. Yes, as I said, let's have some fun for the next 1 hour. It might get past that, but it definitely will not get below that. Yeah, so we'll start at 4 minutes past the hour 9. So definitely destination point is 4 minutes past the hour of 10, or probably 5 minutes past the hour of 10. I'm the pilot on the show today. Sorry, not tonight. I'm the pilot on the show today. I'm taking you on good altitude. Remember that we dare to do what others will not do. Yeah, somebody asking me why am I wearing Manchester United jersey. Remember the other day I showed you guys the Newcastle Al Nassr. Which other jersey again that they brought? This one, I wanted that jersey, I forgot now. And you know, it's a gift, right? And I knew it was a Greek gift from the very minute I saw Man United in it. Bro, one of those things. I gave it to my wife, she said she's not wearing. So when Man United beat Coventry and got to the finals, the lady that sent it called me and said, if we win the finals, the FA Cup, you will wear Man United jersey that I got you for your show on the Monday. I said, well, I was a bit cocky and arrogant, same way I was with Bobby Okugwe, like, City will beat them. This Man United that is conceding goals like goals are going out of fashion, right? I was like, okay, good is the deal. But if you people don't win, what would happen? You would give me all 3 of the Arsenal jersey for the new season. And the lady said, deal. I said, no, wait a minute. What do you people know that I don't know? Now, let's go back and forth. You know that since the quarterfinals, Bobby have been saying Man United will win the FA Cup. Yeah, they will have a bad season. The league will not go well for them, but they would play Europe next season via the FA Cup. And I'm looking at the teams that are still in the quarterfinals at the time, Chelsea, all these teams. I said, well, let's see. It's 8 teams still in the competition. There is the pathway for them was there. And we kept going. And then last weekend, leading up to the finals, we had this back and forth. Bobby, I'm sorry, I would have to apologize. So we had a back and forth. I was so sure Man City was going to win the double. Arrogantly. And I said to him, thank God I didn't make a bet to Bobby anyway. But I said, if Man City, he said, Man United are going to win. And I said, if Man City wins, he's going to send me £5,000 for me to go to Super Eagles camp. Now I'm not going to Super Eagles camp anymore. Okay, it's off. I'm going to stay here and monitor proceedings from Uyu and be here. I'm not going anywhere. Okay, but and he didn't even flinch. I was wondering, like, this guy should. This is the point where he said, "No, this bet is not the." He said, "This is blackmail," and then he went on. I was like, does this guy know something that I don't know? Yes, he's in the UK, but hey, I follow football. I cover all my charts, all my paper trail everywhere. I make sure I know everything. So I relax. I think I'm getting old now. I think I'm losing form because these two people ambushed me and got me really for the clean. And now I'm wearing the Manchester United jersey. Well. What God cannot do does not really exist in the eyes of Nigerians. So, two Man United fans have put me on this robe today, but let's go and have a fun. And there's only one question today. Should Erik Ten Hag stay or should he go? If you ask me straight up, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, he should be fired. And my reasons being that, listen, there is a truckload of injuries that he wants to use as his excuse. But I think that beyond the excuses of injuries, there's been a whole lot of poor selection, tactical arrangement of the team, and his post-match press conferences, the excuses he gives, come on, damn. It's sometimes... this one that they are saying urgent pick up. Okay, let me call. I need to return this call, guys. Sorry, just bear with me because when people say urgent, please pick up. It's like, hello? Come on, I'm on my live show. What's up? Is my money coming in? Okay. When your bank calls you and say urgent pickup or return this call, you have to break out the protocol because before my money vanish now, say we were calling you now. Government have taken your money these days. This taxation government, you have to be very sure what is going on. Well, let's come back to the conversation. So this is my reason for saying he should go. I don't think that Erik Ten Hag. I mean. It kind of like feel bad. 2 seasons, 2 trophy, 1 Calabar Cup, 1 FA Cup, fantastic, right? And you know all of the mighty successes of Arteta, only 1 FA Cup, 4 seasons. But anybody who thinks Man United are better off than Arsenal because they won the FA Cup obviously does not understand what football is, right? And the whole talk of structure above him and all that. I mean, the structure above Arsenal is Edu. After Edu, every other person is the same of the same. Okay, those positions were filled by people when Asenberger was there for the last 12 years and he did not win anything. So I think that first off, we have to understand that the ideology of Arteta is different from the ideology of Erik Ten Hag. Erik Ten Hag pretty much said something that I respect him from. He said, don't judge me by scores, judge me by trophy. Okay, so 2 seasons, 2 trophy. And at post-match, he said something that was a bit bold, that was big. And he said, you don't want to keep me, I'll stay, but if they want to sack me, let them sack me. I'll go somewhere else and win trophy, which is something I know how to do all my life. But let's extrude Man United in beat. Come on. The game against Crystal Palace that has pissed everybody off. Do you think that Casemiro was the best guy to pair next to Verano, who was he pairing with? I don't think so. I thought probably he could have played Amrabat or could have played somebody else. You know, there's a whole lot of other players that could have been in that position that would have done better. And then again, the way he goes about team selection sometimes and then tactical switches and then substitution sometimes, I don't think that that's going to change. That's still going to be the same thing that he would do, you know, during the course of the new season. Okay, so let's say Man United will chase another FA Cup to make sure they equal Arsenal in 13 or probably win another Carabao Cup and then, you know, they say he's winning titles every season. But then the league, they're not there. Coming into the top 4, I don't see Man United making it into the top 4. Okay, Liverpool are going to fall off. Aston Villa might not be able to hold it. So it's a chance between Chelsea, Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester United, right? I mean, we'll wait and see anyway. And Liverpool fans are looking at me like, are you crazy? What are you saying? Why are we going to fall off? Right? It does look like you guys are going to fall off. Yeah, because eventually when the transfer window open for the middle of next month and then you start seeing your players' movement, the ones that are going to leave. I also don't think think that Man City will be better. And I'm saying this is pretty too much now. People are looking at me like, are you crazy? Yeah, I don't think that Man City are going to be better. I just think that what's it called? Kevin De Bruyne is going to pivot. Edison is going to go. They already have a good goalkeeper that will step in this place, but I just don't think that they are going to get better. Yes, Erling Haaland might get better, might score more goals. Phil Foden might score more goals, but I just think that something is just going to give anyway. But let's wait and see. It is Pep Guardiola's team; they are always going to be that good. Well, there's a whole lot of all the talking point that we need to talk about. Southampton, yes, found their way back, winning 1 goal to nothing, scoring pretty early against Leeds United. I thought that Leeds United were going to give it a fight and probably bring that game to a dramatic end, but that didn't happen. Southampton are back, £180 million game. I like that playoff game. I'm always wondering why it is that expensive. What's the whole drama about it? Why should Leicester gain promotion when it is even better to play the dramatic 180 million, but then it's a lottery. You know how it is. It's a lottery, it's a game of luck. You might not win it, so why not go through the right way and just win your game and go straight up? Okay, so let's look at some of the stories that are making it. United keep Ten Hag in the dark. Okay, so reports on Saturday morning that suggested the FA Cup final would be Erik Ten Hag's last game in charge of Manchester United. The Times now report that after Ten Hag led the team to the second trophy in his second year, at the end, the club now say they want to review the season before deciding whether to sack their manager or to keep him. Well, it does look to me like a sack is coming. I would be surprised if he stays, but then it does look to me like somewhere in the midst of all of these Yama Jaba Jaba, Umuru and Umuta, there is going to be some sacking coming. Ten Hag has set out his position. Ratcliffe will soon outline it. Okay, when Ten Hag said, sack me if you want to sack me. Okay, senior figures at Manchester United have begun conducting an end of season review with one item dominating the agenda: the future of manager Erik Ten Hag. The club never discovered whether they were right to sack Louis Van Gaal after he won the FA Cup in 2016. At 64, his best days in management were behind him. The only frontline job he did after leaving Old Trafford was to answer an SOS call from the Netherlands hierarchy to qualify the national team for the 2022 World Cup, where they lost to eventual winners Argentina in the quarterfinals. Okay, the situation is different with his compatriot Ten Hag, as he got himself on the front foot in the aftermath of the well-deserved 2-1 victory. Yes, you need to use that word, well-deserved. Over last season treble winners and Saturday's FA Cup finals. Ten Hag made it perfectly clear what would happen if co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe decided he didn't want the 54-year-old to stay. Okay, so the gap between Ten Hag and Louis Van Gaal is 10 years, right? Okay, let's keep it going. Anyway, we will discuss that later. If they don't want me, then I will go somewhere else to win trophy, because that is what I do. That's how we roll. Yes, to show yourself. Okay, it was a bold statement, one to make even the most successful, decisive, and clear-sighted businessman take a moment to think. Wait a minute, really? Is that what it does? But it says the trophy that we want. Again, that's another question that they'll be asking in the boardroom. Man, this guy is arrogant. He's cheeky. Well, I like it when you're good at what you do and you say it. I know that in Nigeria, people say, oh, you're arrogant, you're full of yourself. Well, I like it anyway. I do not believe in humility. It's a group who have assumed all the responsibility for football decisions at one of the world's biggest clubs, with all the scrutiny and social media frenzy that entrails. I was thinking the other day, I was asking a friend, I said, would Alex Ferguson have succeeded in this social media era? I don't think he would have struggled. Okay. But hey, it is what it is. When you sign some players like Erik Ten Hag, Eric Cantona, how would Eric Cantona have survived after the Kung Fu kick against the Blackburn fans in 1995? Okay, cup in the air. It feels as if all the talk about managers rather than players transfer as we head into the summer. In the Premier League, both Chelsea, Brighton are on the lookout for a new head coach, while the future of Manchester United boss Erik Ten Hag remains a big talking point, despite his side impressive display in beating rivals Manchester City on Saturday FA Cup finals. Okay, the Mirror report that Ten Hag's future will be decided by the the powers that be at United this week as the Dutchman jet off on a well-earned holiday. Wow, this man might be sacked on his holiday. Okay, now this is the one that everybody's been asking. They want to know. There is a planned exit for Pep Guardiola. Okay, there is a roadmap for it. Here is a confirmation of that story in the mail on Pep Guardiola, who, according to the report, is preparing to buy out next summer after what will be 9 years on the job. I thought that he would stay for another 2 years so that he makes it 10 years on the job, the longest of his career, and then goes back to Barcelona and become a football director or whatever he wants to be. Okay, the Spaniard took the reins at City in 2016 and has since led them to 6 Premier League titles, 2 FA Cup, 4 League Cups, 1 Champions League, 1 UEFA Super Cup, and 1 Club World Cup. I think this season is going to go for the tilt, try to win another Champions League and see how that leads. Whether Pep Guardiola's exit plan have been laid out already, right? We will have loads and loads of reaction of the playoff as well. A lot of people are having different conversation about the playoff. Leeds United versus Southampton, and Southampton, got up. Okay, Pep Guardiola preparing for a long goodbye. Okay, so the big question at Manchester City though is how long Pep Guardiola will be manager. Foden recently brushed the topic of life after Pep of life after Pep in an interview with the BBC Sports Dan Rohan. Okay, today's mail suggests that the Spaniard is not planning to stay past the end of his current contract, which finishes next summer. The mail also reports that Manchester City goalkeeper Ederson is a target for Al Ittihad, and the Saudi Pro League side are willing to offer an initial 25 million for the 30-year-old Brazilian international. That wouldn't be a bad one anyway. Grealish will be back after struggles, according to Pep Guardiola. Well, I think that Grealish just, exemplified the typical British boy behavior, drinking and partying and showing off. Not much of his football anyway. I don't think he's a world-class footballer like, you would want to mention world-class footballer. He just have this body of a, when Craig David left music, I went to go and open a gym and became the bodybuilder's poster boy. That's how I look at Grealish. Every time I look at Grealish, I'm like, okay, this guy, must be a fanboy of Craig David, and he must also be looking at Mesut Ozil and Fernando Torres, what they've done with their body after football, and they say, okay, this is what I want to be like, but I want to start it now that I'm playing. Actually, I'm in a team where whether I play well, I don't play well, we will win. So he let him just keep his life going like that. So Manchester City boss Pep Guardiola has backed Jack Grealish to return to form after struggles this season. After playing a key role in City historic treble success last season, the young man has suffered a lot. Okay, including being a starter in both the FA Cup and Champions League finals. Grealish has been on the outside of the team running. Grealish 28 started both legs of the Champions League quarterfinals defeat by Real Madrid, but featured for only 10 minutes in City's 5 games in May. He was an unused substitute in key Premier League games against Tottenham Hotspur, West Ham as well, and was on the bench throughout the FA Cup final defeat by Manchester United. But Guardiola doesn't see any significant issue with the £100 million record signing. He will be back, said the City manager. He struggled this season, and Jeremy Doku has made an incredible step up forward, as everyone has seen in the last game. But Jack will be back at this level of last season, I'm pretty sure. Grealish certainly did not seem too worried during Sunday's Premier League party at Manchester. Yes, they wanted to do a double parade, but that did not happen. Guardiola's summer to-do list. Okay, so let's look at some of the things that Pep Guardiola would love to do this summer. Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola certainly seemed to enjoy the parade, but as Simon Stone reports, he also has plenty on his mind going into what is the final year of his current contract at the club. Issues that need to be addressed include, at 32, Kevin De Bruyne has 1 year left on his current deal, but not for the first time this season looked a shadow of his usual self against Manchester United and was replaced after less than an hour of Saturday's FA Cup final. Midfielder Kevin Phillips is likely to leave the club this summer after his disastrous loan spell to West Ham. There are also question mark over first choice goalkeeper Edison, who has been linked with a move to Saudi Arabia, and on the study, Stefan Ortega, who was at fault for the opening goal against Manchester United, also has a contract that expires in 2025. City paid Wolves £53 million for midfielder Matheus Nunes in September, but he started just 7 Premier League games, only one since February, and remained on the bench as the campaign reached its climax. So there are a lot of things that Pep Guardiola needs to do. There are a lot of signings that have not come good as you would have expected. But hey, it is what it is. There is nothing you can do about it. When things happen, you just have to find a way around it. Okay, let's look at what the transfer rumors are like. Okay, but before we go to the transfer talk, there is still something with Erik Ten Hag that I need to read out for you. Okay, winning FA Cup will be quite the way to go. Okay, but somehow with Manchester United, you never know, you never sabi. So with Manchester United, everything doesn't just come out the way you think it will come out. Okay, if Manchester United manager Erik Ten Hag is going, then after the finest moment of his time in charge with the FA Cup being lifted in front of thousands of ecstatic Red Hordes at Wembley, is quite the way to go. Ten Hag spent the build up to this final showpiece against all concurrent arch rivals. Manchester City shrouded in speculation that this would be his final game. A dead manager walking, simply waiting for new United co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe to give him the final shove on the precipice. Manchester City were here to inflict the last humiliation on him before departure, to deliver the final blow and see a beleaguered figure on his way out. Well, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. The man did not read the memo. The same way Pep Guardiola did not read the memo to allow Arteta become champions. The man did not read the memo too. Arteta, what you saw you wear. Pep Guardiola, what you saw you wear. Instead, in one of those delicious twists sports so often deliver, Ten Hag produced a tactical masterclass to beat Manchester City 2-1. The Dutchman hoisted off his feet in wild celebration at the final whistle by Warrior defender Lisandro Martinez before moving to share that rarest of experience, offering the hand of consolation to a beaten Pep Guardiola. The scale of United achievement when the pressure was at its highest is different from what every other person knows. But hey, it is what it is. There's nothing you can do. The scale of United achievement when the pressure was at its highest for the manager and the players is that this was City's first loss, apart from a penalty shootout against Real Madrid in the Champions League final since they lost to Aston Villa on 6th of December. Whether this makes any difference to Old Trafford decision makers led by Ratcliffe remains to be seen, but for all his sufferings and criticism, he has had much of it justified after such a dismal season. Ten Hag rightly enjoyed this moment in the Wembley Sun. So let's hope that this changes everything. I don't know. But from the inside, we hear that whether they win the FA or not, Manchester United are stepping up their search for a new manager. Because the Daily Telegraph report that Manchester United have met with the representative of former Chelsea boss Mauricio Pochettino and current Brentford head coach Thomas Frank as the club's owner consider whether to replace Erik Ten Hag as manager or not. So there is still that consideration. There is still that feeling of, well, we are not happy enough. We have to let him go. Well, there are voices, according to the story, there are dissenting voices in the dressing room, in the boardroom, sorry. Some say let him stay, some say let him go. Where would you stand if you had to decide the fate? If the scale that carries the fate of Erik Ten Hag is in your hand, where would you swing it to the pendulum of let him stay or let him go? Okay, would you say if your boyfriend naga let him go, or you say okay, no, please stay with me? So now, you have to decide now, where do you want him to go? So if you're watching this live, please click on the like button. They need a big person put, they need the charge person money, they need to debit you. Just click on the like button, please. Okay. So there's a whole lot of comments here, but I still have the transfer juice to look into and get on board with you on. Okay, so there's a whole lot of rumor going to Saudi Arabia, not going to Saudi Arabia, staying or not to stay. A Saudi Pro League club as Manchester City goalkeeper in their side, while Manchester United speak to the representative of two managers. So let's sit down and enjoy the stories here, and then I'll come back to you to see what your comments are. Manchester City goalkeeper Ederson is a target for Saudi Arabian Pro League side Al Ittihad. They are willing to offer an initial £25 million to the 30-year-old Brazilian with extra add-on as they go. Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola is expected to bring his things to the club to an end when his current contract runs out next summer. Let's hope that they are able to convince him to stay more. But if they don't, well, I mean, there's nothing anybody can do about that one anymore. He's tried, but I think that 10 would have been a perfect number. 10. That means Arsenal will still suffer anyway, but 10 would be a perfect number. But if he wants to go next season, please just go now. Just go now, because Arsenal have a good team. They're in form. We could do like 5 years before Chelsea, Liverpool, and Man United get their act together. We could win 5 straight back to back. After Pep Guardiola do 4, we now do 5, and everything is balanced. We're plumb again. Okay. Imagination working, Michelle. Arsenal are interested in Stade Rennes winger Desirou, 18, and are prepared to compete with numerous clubs, including Tottenham, for his signature. Somebody needs to compete with Bukayo Saka, but 18-year-old. Well, come on, you guys should get better. Come in. I know that young managers are the trend right now, but 18-year-old. Well, Manchester United have held talks with representative of Brentford manager Thomas Frank and former Chelsea boss Mauricio Pochettino, with Erik ten Hag at serious risk of being sacked. Okay, if United appoint Pochettino, it will look to bring midfielder Conor Gallagher and defender Trevor Chalobah with him from Chelsea to Old Trafford. Well, Chalobah, okay, Chalobah would be good anyway. Talking about Chalobah, okay. Chalobah's uncle, I was supposed to call Chalobah's uncle, Mervyn Chalobah, on the show today, but other things, I'll push it forward. I'll push that Mervyn stock forward. I'll have him on the show because so if you guys like Enyimba and you see that stick.com on their jersey, he is the guy who brokered the deals, the guy that made it happen. I wanted us to talk about it and the possibility of them brokering a sponsorship deal for the MPFL, because for me, that's what I want. I want to see the MPFL having sponsor. What's with the MPFL not having sponsor? We keep going every year, borrowing money to run the league. A sponsor should be there who says, okay, we're willing to put $10 million, $20 million per season, and then we'll take it from there. We know that there is a single game that is £180 million, but calm down. Take it easy. We'll get there. So I think that maybe tomorrow or the day after, I'll have a conversation on the show with him and we'll see how that leads anyway. But let's just keep it on the down low first. Okay, let's come back to where you guys together. Manchester United have read talks. Okay, I think I've read that one. If United appoint Pochettino, okay, I've read that one too. Frank has held meetings with Chelsea as they look for a manager after parting companies with Pochettino. Former Brighton manager Roberto De Zerbi is the fourth name in Chelsea's list in their search for a new manager, with Frank, Leicester City's Enzo Maresca, and Ipswich Town Kieran McKenna. Like, I really want to see Kieran McKenna appointed at Chelsea, and I want to see him disappoint me. Like, prove me wrong that an Englishman can just come in and just do the magic. I mean, it's not impossible. It's not impossible. It's just something that you want to see happen, because a lot of people are making me look like I don't know what I'm saying. Like, it's still not clear that, okay, everybody know that these managers, they don't really perform well, right? But people are making me look like I'm the one, going against him. Yes, he was born in England. Yes, he's not an Englishman. He's from Northern Ireland. But hey, let's see. Okay, but all his life he's a London boy. You want to know that one, London boy, 9B. Okay, but we will see how it goes. But my body say the bike me shall say Man City, Man United win, because Bobby, the £5,000, the way for to draw you for pressing for night like wish. But unfortunately, well, I'm not going to go to you. I'm going to be here. We will be following reports as it is coming online, and we'll be talking about it. That £5,000 now for don't reach me. So let's start booking. Let's start going to you. Give you updates every minute by minute. I don't get that money. I don't feel to see myself. Okay. Former Brighton manager Roberto Di Zerbi, I think I've tried that one. Leicester City boss Maresca. Why is Maresca saying he wants to leave Leicester? Like all these guys just think that they are so good. All of a sudden, they are too good for the team that they brought up. They don't want to stay with them. Leicester is not a bad team, and I don't know. Sha has rejected an approach from Sevilla as he wants to stay in the Premier League and is waiting for responses from Chelsea after recent talk with the Stamford Bridge club. Well, we shall see. That's according to Fabrizio Romano. So you better take it serious. Manchester United are interested in teenage Blackburn striker Igor Tion. Okay, he's 16 years of age, as they track several young players for possible deals. I think that the young players at Man United have done well, Sha. From Mino to Dalot to what's it called? Garnacho. I think a lot of the young players at United are doing well. Let's give them plenty of credit for that and for all of the effort that they brought in. They brought in extra legs where the tired legs have not worked. They've also done very, very well. So I give them credit for all of the effort and industry that they brought to the team. At least the winning of the FA Cup. But Bruno Fernandes was also very fantastic on that finals. The way he played, the pass that led to that goal by what's his name now, and everybody in the team did well. After they scored the second goal, the way they huddle up together to defend against Man City, you know that Manchester City will be rampaging with their possession. But again, we've not spoken much about Kevin De Bruyne and Erling Haaland disappearing in finals, in big games, We've not spoken well about it. They will see all those small teams now. They'll be scoring hat-trick after hat-trick, be scoring some, giving some crazy passes and doing that. When it comes to big game, taking game by the scruff of their neck, no way. When the final day of the season came and Man City won the title, Rodri, where they dress, they talking like all those old school Mr. Johnson. I don't know if you know Mr. Johnson. I'm not sure anybody here watched Mr. Johnson back in the day. Well, it's a very old movie anyway. But if you watch Mr. Johnson, talking like Mr. Johnson, came out and said that Arsenal came to Etihad with a bad mentality, right? Wait, which mentality did City take to the finals against Manchester United? Against a team that is struggling. Unless we took mentality to a team that is regarded as one of the best in the whole world. So if this team is one of the worst in the Premier League and in the world currently, anybody can score 4 against them. Crystal Palace, what's that team? Copenhagen. People score dozens of goals against them. But when I play them, I don't feel do anything. But when it comes to us, I say we don't have the right mentality. Please. Now the left mentality na carry go that much. Well, let's move on and see. Stoke midfielder sold today, May 17, is a target for Chelsea, AC Milan, and Monaco after making his first team breakthrough last season. Manchester United are set to wait until after the summer transfer window closes before securing England midfielder Kobe Mainoo, 19, on an improved contract. I guess the player has made up his mind to stay. That's why they have that to say. Aston Villa have agreed a 2-year deal which has the option of a further year with 30-year-old English striker Ross Barkley. Now, Ross Barkley don't reach 30 years just now, who can leave Luton Town after their relegation from the Premier League. Real Betis defender Kadewere, 20, is set to arrive in England for medical ahead of potential £12.7 million move to Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace know how to fish these players. I don't know where. Blind everybody and just pick them out, and then eventually, that's what Southampton used to do back in the days. Southampton just go and bring in Sadio Mane, Virgil van Dijk, go and bring a player to work on, sell them for outrageous amount of money. Well, it's good when you know you're stuck in trade. Okay, Morocco midfielder Sofiane Amrabat, 27, says he will speak to Manchester United about his future, with the Old Trafford club having an option to turn his loan for Fiorentina into a permanent switch, according to Ziggo Sports via the Metro. Denmark midfielder Pierre-Emile Højlund, 28, is expected to leave Tottenham Hotspur in search of more first-team football, as the current coach does not think he needs a power-playing midfielder in midfield. He needs ball players, and this player says, you know what, I'm not good at sitting on the bench. I want to play regularly, and if you can't give me regular football, I'm going somewhere else. Fulham have made an €8 million bid, okay, for Stuttgart and Congo forward Silas, 25, as negotiations between the two clubs continue. German champion Bayer Leverkusen are close to signing Spanish midfielder Alexis Garcia, 26, from Girona for about 15 to 20 million euros, which is about 11.8 to 15.7 million pounds, according to Sky Sports. Burnley's list of possible replacement for manager Kevin Vincent Kompany, who is close to joining Bayern Munich, include former Chelsea boss Frank Lampard, And ex-Nottingham Forest manager Steve Cooper. Why are you guys looking for failures? Come on, what's wrong with you? You want to go down to League One? Well, now is City are set to make a formal approach for FC Northern manager Johan of Torp, okay, as they look to appoint the 35-year-old as their head coach. Well, these are the stories when you talk about transfer, the possible one. No single Nigerian name mentioned in the transfer news today. Because Sime, I hear that when the transfer window opened, the real wheel will grind. But for now, everybody is just chilling, saying, okay, let's wait till the 15th of June and we will see how it goes. The transfer window is opening for earlier this season because of the Euros and all that. So some people can do some business. That window of the Euro, nobody can do any business, no medical, no movement and all that. So you can do it pretty early, extra 15 days giving. So from 15th now, we'll see. But then, I mean, as it is now, from now, people can do their business. There's nothing but officially, when you say it's officially open. Again, one of the reasons why you can do business now is so that for financial fair play, so that you can balance your book. Those people who their books run June to July, they need to be able to lock in some transfer now, so that everything fall into the place where points will not be deducted, especially with the new English way of doing things, to victimize people. Well, all those people that are waiting for the very end of the window, I'm sure they know that is no longer tenable for them. Well, let's look at some of the headline trending tears into Leeds United players for not taking responsibility in playoff final defeat by Southampton, as Neil Warnock suggests. Daniel Farke's side believed in their own publicity. When you lose a match, have you noticed that when you lose a match, everybody seems to have an opinion, seems to know what they would do. Exclusive on Daily Mail review: Pep Guardiola is set to leave Man City at the end of next season, despite club wanting him to stay, as he looks to reshape his squad one last time after FA Cup final defeat. I don't think he would go. I don't think he will go. I just think that Pep Guardiola would eventually be told, let's wait, November will come, they will tell him, Pep, whatever it is, we're going to make you the highest earning manager in the world. Let's go for it again. Let's go win another Champions League. You know that, look at some other managers that have won the Champions League than you. You have no better place to win the Champions League than this club. You can't go back to Bayern. Bayern don't need you. Yes, you can go back to Paris Saint-Germain. Maybe you can go and coach in Italy when Juventus are ready. But for now, let's give you, some more money. Sign another 3 or 5 years extension, and let's say I go. That's what I think will happen in November. November is really when Pep Guardiola head is set. Right now, this is not the right time to talk to him. But let's see how it goes. Review: Pep Guardiola is set to leave at Man City, blah, 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 blah. That one, we're talking. Lewis Hamilton urges a major revamp to Monaco Grand Prix as the Mercedes star claims people were falling asleep watching race in the Principality. Well, I don't know about that, but there's just something about Formula One that confuses me. So, Hamilton was for the game, winning everybody. All of a sudden, let's even say that the Mercedes-Benz car that he's driving did not improve. It was the same car, just the same way, no improvement. They didn't improve. Are you telling me that every Mercedes improved on their car so much so that they are all now better than Mercedes? I don't know if anybody that have proper understanding of Mercedes or Formula One should come and give me an idea. Okay, Chelsea legend Eden Hazard names a surprise pick of replacement. A surprise pick to replace Mauricio Pochettino at Stamford Bridge as the Blues finalize their 4-man shortlist for the manager's hot seat. Are you not part of management, lazy player? The real reason Pep Guardiola is ready to walk out of Manchester City, according to Jack Gogan, and the two places that could be top of his list for the next job after scoffing at PSG interest. Okay, I still think that Pep Guardiola will coach at PSG. I just think so. I think that when he looks at what's it called, Don Carlo, you'll be like, I like to be like this guy. I like to achieve what he's achieved. I like to be on his number. Jack Grealish and his behavior. One day, I wouldn't be surprised if Jack Grealish's career ends because of something that happens at a party. Remember the top boss? He almost fell off the top boss because he just, the boy not get sense. Typical English boy, we not get sense. But he's playing for City. What am I going to say? Whatever I say, yeah, Nobody would even listen right now. Okay, review why Chelsea dropping into Conference League will cause chaos in their early season schedule, with the Blues campaign also set to last 330 days under new manager. Whatever it is, they knew that was going to happen. So there is no all this one that they talk. Then their own talk that they talk. They know say if Man United win the FA Cup, that's what's going to happen. Solar Sports, Manchester United defy the odds and get revenge on Man City by winning the FA Cup and ending their double hopes. And the Hooper captured all the emotions at Wembley. Wembley. Let's come to you guys now. You guys are the real MVP. So let's see your comments. Bobby, more negotiates. You're my brother, you're my friend, you're my partner, right? I know that you win and you are laughing. You know they come the live before. You always wait after the live you go on. But you want rubber on my face plus Madam Cherry that sent me jersey that I must wear because our club won the FA Cup. Okay, I agree. But let's have a middle ground now. Let's meet in the middle ground because I still want to go to the U. Please, just dip hand into your pulse and let the Spirit of God lead you. Yeah, you can mock me that you got it right and I got it wrong. I understand. Laugh at me. Tell me to go and wear chicken and stand on the junction and video myself and upload it. I will do it. But chicken costume or whatever. But right now, I need to go to you. So that £5,000, don't bring all of them. Don't bring the half. £2,500. All right. Olatunji Mane said good morning, boss. Good morning to you. Olatunji Mane wanted to say, what is the tactical analysis as regard the FA Cup final? Pep said his team shouldn't have attacked. What do you think he meant by that, considering that Pep likes to attack and dominate when he plays? So that was sarcasm on his part. If you go back and watch that interview, you'll see it was being sarcastic. That, you know how when Pep loses a game, people say things like, Pep overtake, Pep did this, Pep did that. So it was just being sarcastic. But this is what I think, and it might not make sense to a lot of people. I think that after winning the league, the City team went into party mode, forgetting that there's an FA Cup finals to play. That's one. I'm going to give the balance side to this argument. They went into party mode, Jack Grealish, they were all over town, bruising and grooving. So if you look at that game carefully, they were a bit tired. There's no grit on their side. Yeah, it's second nature to them. They could play the ball, keep possession, even with their eyes closed. They could move the ball left, right, front, back, and center. But you could see that when it comes to most of those 50-50 ball, they were not in their sharpest. They were not in their element. That's one part. That doesn't excuse it. But let's talk about the main part of that game, the real part of the game. The way Man United set up. They found the base of experience. Again, this was one of those few games in the season where Erik Ten Hag had a higher complement of players that are fit. No, the injury was not as much as the regular season, like the game against Crystal Palace, the game against the other games where they were losing as if losing was a new normal or the new winning. You could see that there was kind of a balance in the way the team was picked. Okay, let's go back to the team setup and see some of the things that I want to explain. You look at this team for Manchester United, you have Wan-Bissaka, who did an incredible job. I've seen Pep Guardiola team dominate play, run you wide, cross the ball in. This guy Wan-Bissaka was, for me, he would have been my man of the match. Yeah, it would have been my man of the match. He did an incredible job in making sure crosses don't come from there, no matter who. The one time he slipped, probably that's the reason why he wouldn't get the man of the match, was when that goal was scored. But if you look at it again, Onana, after making all those incredible saves, could have saved that one, but still did not. But you look at it, Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Martinez, and Diego Dalot were experienced players who formed the base. These guys, there's no injury. Martinez, even though he was substituted, had the solidity. Then you now have Mino, who had speed. He could go and come back. He could, hold his own anyhow. Remember, this formation was the same formation that Ragnak played, and it was which one is 4-2-2-2-2. Everybody was mocking it, but that's exactly what they played in this game. But then there was plenty of leg. Rashford, he didn't score, but he had legs. He ran until he was substituted. Garnacho was a thorn in the flesh of the opposition. Bruno Fernandes as well was more of a false nine. He goes and then comes back. When he drops, Garnacho go forward, same for Mino, and then they were just confusing Kovacic, who was a bit robotic until he was substituted. Rodri, who was really not in the races, and then Nathan Ake, John Stones, Walter, Vardiol, all of these guys were not in their best of form. Kevin De Bruyne was even horrible. Haaland was a spectator at best in this game. And then for Foden player of the season, all of them, they were all jaded. Something was just not in their mix. So you look at them, it's a case of every space, again, where Man City really does well, dominate, was where this whole train track formation, the train track or Amtrak formation of Erik ten Hag sliced through. So there was no real open space for them to operate. And in that regard, another thing you need to give Manchester United and Erik ten Hag credit for was the way they defended when they were not with the ball. Because again, I always say that in football, you can play very, very well when you're with the ball. Everybody is a champion when you're with the ball. When the ball is in your possession, you can do anything. You can do the flick, you can do the Okocha, Maradona, Zidane. But you say, what do you do when you're not with the ball? For the 2, 3, 4, or 5 minutes sometimes when you're not with the ball, what do you do? That's the real case in football. And I think that without the ball, Manchester United were fantastic. They were disciplined. They knew when to, web the line. Amrabat was going and coming, making sure that whoever was on that side, whether it was Foden, whether it was the guy that came in later, Jeremy Doku, they were webbing him seriously. One time he had the chance to shoot, he shot, and the goalkeeper, could have done better. But then, congratulations to Manchester United. I just think that it was being sarcastic with that one. Okay, and then Emmanuel Olatunji says, what do you think of ETH? I think it still has a year left on his deal. Do you think it should still go or it should stay to run at the cup? For me, I think it should go. Well, and it's sad that I'm saying this because, again, when he won the cup, I'm looking at it like, what sense does it make to repeat what they did with LVG, right? But I don't think that it would fix the problem. Now that you have new owner, new management, okay, he's got 1 year left on his contract. If you keep him, at the end, what do? Are you going to decide again for him to stay? If the new board is coming, the new setup, the new structure is coming, let the new structure start with the coach that they brought in and then work with that coach upward and see what goes. That's my reason for wanting him to go. Again, I still think that when it comes to managing in the league, maybe he's fantastic with the cup, but when it comes to, because he won the Carabao Cup last season and now he's won the FA Cup, maybe he's fantastic with the cup like Unai Emery style, but winning the league or challenging, not even winning the league. Man United are not going to win the league in the next 5 or 10 years. So let's not even talk about that one. But challenging for the league, like being there, like to say, I want to be there. Unfortunately, this one I want to hear a story that Pep Guardiola will leave at the end of next season. It means that the door is getting open because Liverpool are already out of the race. Liverpool out of the race for the next 5 or so years. Maybe in 2 seasons they will fire Arne Slot, look for another manager. They will destroy this whole thing for another 10 years or 15 years, and then they will start struggling. There's not a manager out there that will come and do what nobody will do what your club have done. And if what your club did only gave them a lottery a league title in COVID where they must fix the title for them. I'm looking at, there's nobody, and it's not, I don't care what I know how to coach. It's not going to have the generation of players that your club have. It's not going to be able to put together a team that would match Arsenal and Man City, meaning that Chelsea might be able to rise up from the ashes of their misnomer, not this season, but maybe next season, and then not this new season that's coming, maybe the other one, and then go on to challenge for title. I still don't think that Tottenham Hotspur have got it in them. They are just, a discombobulated group of people who don't know their direction. And then you have maybe Man United might not decide to come in, Chelsea might decide to come in. So that's another 2 seasons. Compete, not win it. Okay, so we'll see how that goes. It's a long mile of the walk. But for me, if I'm taking decisions on the board, I'm not even going to do all those season review. What are you reviewing? Were you not part of the season? I'll tell him, thank you very much for the job well done. Pay for the 1 season, move on, get a new coach, so that the entire structure that they are bringing in now, Jim Ratcliffe is hierarchy. They are starting on a clean slate. Now we get this coach. Now we bring him. This is our idea. This is what we want. Come. This is why we're bringing you in. Not this Erik ten Hag who would excuse and say, the players he wanted are injured. The players that are available can't play his style. Yes, he's brought in some good young players. Credit to him. But bringing a new coach that will come in and do the kind of surgical operation that Arteta did, where you take off some of the players that are not good. Anthony Martial and Rashford. You don't get anything with Rashford play. Rashford should get out of the club. A few of those players should go, and then you build on Garnacho, Mino, Dalot, and the rest of them. I will still keep Bruno Fernandes anyway, but hey, it is up to them. But answering your question, I will cut him loose. Olatu Yamano went on to say, can you break down the job description and the future of following role in football? CEO, president, sporting director, technical director, head coach, and club who use president like Madrid. In Madrid, the people are the owner of the club. So it's like a state-owned club, okay? If the president is elected to represent the people, to run the proceedings of the club. So Madrid is like a nation; it's a football nation. They vote for the president that they think can run it. And once he gets there, he have executive power. He becomes a dictator. He becomes a what's it called? A Gaddafi. What's that guy in Cuba now? He have that power where nobody can. Vladimir Putin, he takes executive decisions, decide who comes in and who doesn't come in. So that's the role of a president in that Madrid setup. There are some other club presidents like Al Khalifa, who runs the club in trust for his financiers, right? He's a representative of his financial group. He also have that kind of executive power, but the problem with his own power, his power is not like that of Florentino Perez, because again, it's not a football person. Florentino Perez is a football person through and through. He's been in the system, he grew in the system, he understands the system, right? Al Khalifa is a businessman who is not trying to use his business acumen to run football the way it is, and one of those kind of things where you love football and you want to translate your money-making ideologies into football, but then you realize that football is not a rational business. Okay, every other business is rational. 1 + 1 = 2 in every other business, real estate, stock, tech, all of that. But in football, 1 + 1 might be 0. 1 + 1 might be -1 million. 1 + 1 also might be 1 billion. So football is not a rational business. Anybody who tell you that football is a rational business where there are equilibrium, there are facts and figures, not lie. Football is not a rational business. That's why nobody make profit from football. I keep saying that. So it's a different setup. CEO, okay, CEO in the structure of football as it is today is an appointment. Okay, you are given a job to run the club as a chief executive. Like, okay, we need you. Who do I use now as a CEO? Daniel Levy is not the owner of Tottenham Hotspur. Even though I think his company have a stake in it, but he's not the owner, like owner, but he's the CEO, right? He's the CEO, chairman, chief executive. He runs the club like he's the owner, he's a de facto owner, but he doesn't have the kind of power that Florentino Perez has. For instance, he can fire, he can do anything, but there are certain things that he just can't do. He can't push the boundary. He can't say, okay, I want to go into Galactico, because he's answerable to a board who says, look, we prioritize profits over football winnings. The trophy is not going to put money in the bank, and we are shareholders, we need our money. So he has to work according to what they want. That's what the CEO do. The head coach, did you mention head coach now? Let me see. So head coach is what for glorification. For glorification, people kind of like, when they say presenter is an OAP, journalist, they bring all this name to make it look beautiful, to make you feel good. You're just a bloody presenter. That's what you are. You're a presenter at a radio station. This is an OAP, on-air personality. Shut up. You're a bloody presenter. So they went from coach to head coach to chief coach to gaffer to manager to technical advisor in Nigeria, and different names. All of them, there's only one title for that. It's coach. When you go get your badge, you do not get a badge as a manager. So you do not get your badge from the coaching school and they say you have what they call the C license, B license, A license, and the pro license as a coach, football coach. So it was when they started doing this game, some game I call football manager, football days, that all these titles start coming in. So they are all the same. who is the guy that the entire playing team, who's in charge of the playing staff, who do they answer to? That's the coach. Whether you call him head coach, whether you call him manager, whether you call him technical advisor, oh, they are all the same. They are all the same. You know, people tend to lie. You know, they give you this saying that when Arteta signed, he was head coach. Then they later upgraded him to manager, and I lie. What they did was upgrade his contract. Not all those title thing are crap. He's not managing nothing. He's a coach. It ends there. You see the firing of Aubameyang and Ozil. It's not an Arteta thing. No. Let me tell you how the inside of the club work. The inside of the club. Go back and watch the all or nothing Tottenham Hotspur. So Jose Mourinho is a big coach, and you would have thought that he could tell somebody you are fired and you're gone. Now you don't get that power. So the inside of a club. Remember when he told Eriksen that I'm not going to be playing you regularly? What did Eriksen tell him? I'm going to speak with Mr. Levy. That's where the power is, and the player knows. Every player knows who they sign contract with, and they know that who they sign contract with, now their power day. Now, what makes the chain of command easy is when that person is in alliance with the coach. So, in some club, let's use Nigerian company for instance. Nigerian company, people employ people with the principle of divide and conquer. I'm stretching this show now. With the principle of divide and conquer. So you'll see your line manager is designed to always be at loggerhead with you. Your line manager, your head, is always designed to be, you people are always going to be fighting. I remember when I was in Brilla, because I know all of these, when Femi Raji was doing the things that he was doing to everybody, first off, you know, because of people get power drunk. Very, very quick, like this, they get power drunk. I knew the play from the get. I come from football, so I know structure, I know organization, I know, okay, this is what is at play. That's why for the years that I stay, every dart he throws at me doesn't pay. It doesn't stay because I know where this is coming from. I remember I used to tell Tony Becker, their mother, this boy, where I go beat Chris if we say for road. In none of you try this thing, if like example, you're not given the power to do it. If like example, you're not whisper for a year, make it done. But that's how the company wants to run their business. So I'm not gonna be here to argue with him whether I should do this or should do that. Let me give you a very good example. I worked in Brilla for 13 years. I signed a contract on 1st of April 2012, right? And then I left in 2017. In that period, let's say that's the period where I worked with them. Let's leave the other previous 8 years. In that period, I didn't have a seat, a desk, a computer. I didn't use their internet for one single day. And I'll say this anywhere. One single day, I didn't log on to their internet. You know why? Because when I didn't have a contract, when I just come in as a freelancer, Femi Raji told the engineer, Israel, that they should not allow me use the LAN cable on my computer. I should not plug this LAN cable was just lying low. It's not connected. It's like I go there and I unplug it from somebody's computer. And I'm the only analyst that this company have. Like the only guy who comes on air and shatter the whole country with football analysis. He said, give him instruction. I mean, it's on a Sunday. Sunday they don't come to work. This Femi Raji doesn't come to work. That he shouldn't let it. Israel Zomago came to me and said, bros, sorry, this is not me. This is what this guy said. And this time he had not been programs manager. He had not been at the top. He just had that issue of power drunkenness. I looked at it and said, it's not a big deal now. I went to go and buy Vodafone, Zain, and then the Glow one. That stick that looked like a flash drive. That's still somewhere in this office or somewhere. You know, just what's the big deal? I love what I do. But before I bought those things, imagine it's a 10-story building, right? Let me give you a good example. A 10-story building. Adema Alakija, 634 Adema Alakija. I had to go climb upstairs. A live show is going on. I excuse myself. If you guys were listening to that show then, I excuse myself. I'll climb downstairs because they don't work on Sundays. I'll climb from up, come down. When some people say that they work, that they stress them, you never see stress. I'll climb from that upstairs, come down, go to Cyber Cafe. First of the story of the Cyber Cafe. The Cyber Cafe doesn't open on Sundays. Opposite, why not? It doesn't open on Sunday. I had to befriend the girl that works there and convince her to come to work on Sunday. I was paying her to come to work on Sunday so that I can check their live score, print it out sometimes so that I don't forget, and then go up. Now, remember that before I will cross road, climb up to the top floor, scores may have changed. I'll come inside studio and I'll be analyzing. After maybe like 30, 40 minutes, I'll go back again. That's what I do like every single Sundays. I was doing that show. It didn't make anything. So in structure, people just, kind of like some companies like in Man City now, the hierarchy aligned with Pep. That's why he can tell Jack Cancelo to get out of here and he's gone. That's why, certain decisions can be taken and it's gone. With sports, it's not like that. The players know that they're answerable not to the manager but to Daniel Levy. So the system is different. You see why I always say that club is a shitty club. So the system is different. The coach look like they're powerful, but they're not really, they're not really that powerful. They don't have the say. They can't fire a player. They can, decide some things. Yeah, they can bench you, but they really can't say you must go. Or you must not go, or you must stay. If the club says that we're selling him, there's nothing you can do. So those are some of the things that changes that paradigm, that structure of a coach, or when you say manager. And the people say, "Is a manager, you have more power." No, you not get more power. That's still coach should be. You're in charge of your training, your backroom staff, and the players. Okay. Another thing to say, are the owners of teams like that in terms of the largest shareholders, since it's more of vote rather than appointment for such positions. So if you're a club president and you have voted for, you're not the owner of the team. The owners are the ones who have voted you into it. Florentino Perez is not the owner of Barcelona. Juan Laporta is not Florentino Perez is not the owner of Real Madrid. Juan Laporta is not the owner of Barcelona. The 7 elders at Bayern Munich are not the owner of Bayern Munich. There's a holding company that have 51% shares, and then the fans have 49% shares. And those people are the ones that vote, say, for the board to appoint these people to run the club, and they run the club for the time that they can run the club, and then they report to the board, to the congregation also. Let's put it that way. So that's the way it works. They are not the owners; they are the custodians. They're the ones that are responsible for running the club, but they are not the owners of the club. Okay. So, and he said, how can you advise a random football lover like myself who wants to improve his tactical knowledge in terms of how he watches the game? Read a lot. So go off the banter train. Read a lot of editorials. Now, one of the smartest advice I got was from a German called Huber, and he said to me that because I was in ISB for 9 months when I went to go study this thing called football analysis. When I tell people that I went to school to study, they're like, what are you saying? Yes, I did. I did go to school in Hamburg, ISB, to go study this thing. And he said to me that when you read reports on website, don't just bounce on the headlines and, okay, this is trade secret I'm sharing now. When you read editorials, a lot of editorials. Editorials are a lot more details and more thought through. Reports are too instant. People just want to meet quick to the headlines. So they read all that. But your greatest juice is squeezed from the comment section. And I didn't get it there, but he said, when you go to the comment section, what you will get, go there with an open mind, because there are a lot of idiots there, but there are people who were live at the stadium. No matter how much knowledge a journalist have, he would only write from his angle, his own prison, the angle where he's standing. So if a journalist is, for instance, standing like Wembley now, where the press center is at the back of the stadium, you can only see the game from the eye of where you're standing like this, and you will not see the whole stadium. But then remember that you're seeing it from this angle, somebody else is seeing it from that other goalpost to your side. So what that person is saying, the direction is different. When you now write from your own angle, 6 and 9, you're writing from an angle of 6. The other person is saying from the angle of 9. Under the comment, you will see the 9 people. Just take it in your head that you're reading the 6. But the response, if you have an open mind, they are giving you the 9. Then there is the 3 and the 4 and the 5 and the 6 and the 7 and the 8 and the 9 and the 10, the 2, the 1s and all that. All of those comments put together, put them in the sea, juice them properly, and you will get the right response, the right answer that fits what you will not use, what we call cognitive reasoning, like deductive reasoning, where you take all of the facts based on what you've also seen. If you didn't see the game, maybe you go watch the highlight, you now add it up to make your judgment. Sometimes people say, oh, that we just come and say things. No, it is all of these put together that I sit back and I say, okay, this is a projection, this is a trajectory. The other day, I put a tweet on Twitter and I said, pattern formation and all this nonsense that people always talk about. You know, when Super Eagles play, they don't have pattern, they don't have formation. They should play 4-3-3. They don't matter in football. What matter is the ideology. The same 4-2-2-2 that everybody hates with Ragnar is just won Man United and FA Cup, right? And everybody, I disagree with even Charles Anazodo, and I responded in a way that somebody come to my DM and say, why would you respond to Charles? I disagree with you. Formation and pattern is what is top. I now reply, I say, you play ball, like, because I was pissed with when he came up. I was like, you play ball, I want disagree, everything and I want disagree. I have not seen any dressing room where it could say 4-3-3. 4-3-3, all those things you see on the board is just a direction, like, this is the address, right? But what makes a team work is the ideology. That's why 10 teams will play 4-3-3. Only one in the work for, the other ones they suffer. Is it not the same 4-3-3? Now, the same coach that coach Messi win titles. Another coach come, the same Messi say, well what do you want to teach Messi ideology? No. But now Messi did for team where they beat 8-0. 8-2. Now Messi did for team where score 3 goals for first leg, they lose for Anfield against a reserve side. Now Messi did for team where Roma beat. Where Manolas scored the header and change the way with the Sifit Aduri. The thing here is, it's not formation that win you matches. It is the ideology on the match day or for the season. If a coach is able to translate his mind to you, and I asked a question, I said, when Samuel Eto'o played left fullback for Jose Mourinho, what formation was that? What pattern was that? It's not. It's because Samuel Eto'o bought into the philosophy and ideology of Jose Mourinho and is willing to sacrifice his desire to play up front and run anywhere for as long as they win. So it is the philosophy of the coach, the ideology of the coach that players buys into that changes the game for any coach or any team. That's the way it works. But some people don't see it like that, different ideas. So you have to read a lot. So to be successful in this space, to be like, okay, a person who stands out. It's like law and medicine. We cannot avoid reading. I know that we're in the banter generation where everybody who wants to talk sports just think that all I need to be noticed is to banter. Oh, Pep Guardiola is a fraud. Erik Ten Hag is a baby Pep. All this one is just good, but it's just there. If you want to stand out, you want to be the guy that people need to listen to. My brother, you need to read, you need to be informed when you speak, not be just to dispute statistics, but you really need to read, you need to be into the details. If you look, my company's pay offline is the little details count. You have to give yourself time to read and figure out all those details. Bobby Kigo says, greetings from the 2024 FA Cup champions. Get out of here, show off. Bloody show off. One sports fan is, yes, Abigail says, good morning, boss. Good morning to you. Yemi Dana, myself, Uncle E. Are you the one Arteta is using to bring Rashford over? Is that why you are wearing Man U jersey today, sir? What's your thoughts on that potential Rashford transfer to Arsenal? I don't know, Shabo. These days, I'm very careful with criticizing Arteta because he brought in Kai Havertz and look at what he's turned out to be. You wouldn't say that Kai Havertz had a bad season with Arsenal, but I don't want Rashford in the Arsenal team. Too many things would happen. If you bring in Rashford, you will have to match his salary at Manchester United. I don't think Arsenal should be spending that much money. Arsenal needs a striker. They should go get somebody else, Nkezi or Gracie or somebody else, but not Rashford. I don't think Rashford is a guy that is missing that would change the tide at Arsenal right now. Rashford is another Lingard. Anywhere he goes, it's just that big manity. Typical English boy, typical English boy. We don't need a typical English boy. We need somebody who will run, somebody who will fight, somebody who would hustle, who would, somebody, not somebody that will come and give us a Femi Fani-Kayode behavior. Do you know who I am? You don't want that kind of thing right now. I'm wearing a Man U jersey because of Bobby and Chiri, who said if Man United wins the FA Cup, I must wear Man United jersey. At least they didn't ask me to bat my head, so it's okay. It's all good. Every time I say, my good mind feels that it's a hard ask to go because it doesn't fit into the the mold of building a structure at United level. However, I'm a United hater. ETH should stay because they are suffering in 600 years. Yeah, look at my wicked sister. You don't fight for this kind of evil, Sha. Demola Abiola said this one that Pep is going after next season. He might want to do 5 in a row before going. Well, let's hope and see. Olafa say, good morning, boss. Ten Hag did the Ole system by packing the balls and going for the counter, which helped his system, and he got the result against them. Olafa say, I think looking in the bigger picture, it's a joke to say Ten Hag has won 2 trophies in 2 seasons without a clear direct path of going for the league. And you see looking at the way they finish in both. Okay, Bobby Kubo say, glad to see you wearing our jersey. That's something special. Okay, Ten Hag has to stay. He's always said that from the beginning anyway. I absolutely disgusted by the way his future is being handled. Imagine talk that is gonna be sacked coming. For me, it was bad. It was like sacking Mourinho few days to the Carabao Cup final for Spurs, for a club that have with the coach who always wins the finals. That was really terrible. I think that it wasn't a good thing to do. But I think overall, I just feel Erik Ten Hag will not do Man United well. And, as an Arsenal fan, you want to see Man United suffer so that there's one less thing to worry about. But I also think that if you want to win the title when the competition is high. So when you win it, people respect you for winning it under high competition, not like everybody's falling apart like the less down, and then you say, oh, you've won something. No. So I want to see them coming into the competition fighting, not like by match day 20, they don't come up with the title race. What's that? Chelsea and Man United were out of the league title race by match day 15 or so. So you don't want that happening with the league. NPFL is in match 33. So, boss, who will stay through to win the league between Remo, Rangers? Because I feel they have the soft run going to the end of the season. I think it's going to be Rangers. Rangers are no nonsense. If they beat, who did they beat again 4-0? Remo lost 3-2. Eibar in second. Rangers are 4 points ahead of them. So if we balance it on home and away result, and I think Rangers will still get a result on the road, Rangers will win the title. They should win it. But Remo have done well. They should qualify for the continent at least. Demola Abiola say United should do Ten Hag. They need to be patient with him. He can deliver on the long. I don't think so. Demola Abiola say Arsenal should go for Nice. Nico Jr., he can give Saka a run for his money, not an 18-year-old boy who they will loan like they did with Marquinhos. Okay, there's plenty of message. Where did I stop? This thing is just jumping, Sha. Okay. Bobby Kubo says Ten Hag will be entering year 3 of a project. He should be allowed to finish it, or at least work with an efficient structure. You can say the progression of youth mixed with the right players. I agree on that one, on the progression of youth, but I still don't think he should stay. This is my take. I don't think he should stay. I think that Ineos and their own management should come in with their coach and start the project. So they can come out and announce to everybody that we have 5 years to run this structure. Manchester United fans, count us, judge us in the next 5 years. Whatever has happened before, let bygone be bygone. Judge us from now to the next 5 years. We promise this, we promise that. If I was taking over a team, like somebody asked me the other day, if I was taking over an NPFL club, what's going to be my first press interaction? I would do a tower meeting, not like a press release. No, I won't do a press release. That's too old school. I'll do an interaction. Well, first off, I would, if I invite 30 people, of the 10, I would give them the questions to ask. Because sometimes journalists, I was listening to the interaction with Finidi George the other day, I was like, so all this Twitter, all of Nanisha, when I don't see the man and I know if he asks the question when I supposed to ask, and I know if he asked them. So it didn't feel like it was just a fellowship, a church service. So I'll give them the questions that aligns my project, because they might not know how to ask those questions. And I'll tell them, look, I'm not here to win the title. If we win it, is a bonus. I am here to run a structure that will make this club become financially buoyant. That's what I want to do. I'm here to do Ed Woodward. I'm not here to do Pep Guardiola. So if we win title, it's a bonus. But this is what I'll do for the next 5 years. This is how I'll do the structure. I'll change the average age of the team. I'm just saying for like an MPFL team, I'll change the average age of the team. We will play some youth competitions. I will try because that's how we'll make our money. And then again in the league, we'll just be here, but definitely will not be relegated. We might not play continent on the first 3 seasons. Maybe the 4th one will not go to the continent because I don't want to go to the continent. We'll spend money for something that we will not win, and then we just lose all that money. You know, all of those things I will outline them out. But the questions have to be right. Okay. For Man United, I think that Jim Ratcliffe should just come and say, you know what, we need a new structure. We want to have a coach that will give a 3 years contract with an option for one and another option for another one, right? So 5 years is our target. In 5 years' time, we will be matching on all titles, the league, the Champions League, every major title we will be matching for it. But these 5 years is the time that we want to build that. We would, you know, thank God we have a group of young players already. We will pair them up with experienced players from defense to midfield to attack, which is the spine or the core of the team. But this team, the core will be built around these young players, the Garnachos of this world, the Minors of this world, and they've got a good crop of young players like the 92 team. But you know, they must be surrounded by highly experienced players as well. But I don't think Erik ten Hag is the guy. Olafa, they say when transfer news concerning Chelsea comes from Fabrizio, is definitely the real people have criticized him or being on Chelsea payroll. Well, whether you criticize him or not, that's one statement people always say of media people. Once you say anything, you're on payroll. Olafa, the same, but boss, so from what happened over the weekend, do you think Nigerians started supporting Chelsea because of Mikel Obi, or is just exaggerating? So I don't follow the Mikel podcast. I think that I have a podcast and I follow a lot of podcasts. I used to follow the Mikel podcast, but at some point I realized that Mikel is very, very economical with the truth. He likes to hear himself talk, and if you want to get into controversy, say the truth. Say the truth the way it is. Don't color it to suit your narrative just because you're sitting with one white boy and you like to laugh, right? So I don't listen. I saw him trending, but I did not follow, so I don't know what to say. But let's go back. Celestine Babayaro played 9 years at Chelsea. Celestine Babayaro won on the 17 gold in 1993, won Olympic gold in 1996. And if Mikel thinks that Nigeria started supporting Chelsea because of him, does that not sound like a drunkard? First off, there are a lot of Nigerians who support AC Milan back in the day. The man who changed the face of Chelsea was a guy called Ruud Gullit, who came in and played a football called champagne football. It's the first foreigner to win the English FA Cup, the loved and traditional cup, the most talked about cup competition in world history at club level. And when he won that cup competition, the following year, his striker that he brought in became coach player and took his job, Gianluca Vialli. And that guy went on to win the Cup Winners' Cup against Jonathan Kobore's VfB Stuttgart in the final. A lot of people have forgotten football history anyway. A lot of people think that football started 2 days ago with Jose Mourinho. And all those while, Nigerians were following that club religiously. So if Mikel Obi thinks, I'm the reason why Nigerians are supporting Chelsea, Mikel must have a very over-bloated idea of who he is and the perception that people have of him. But let's leave that on the side and forget. Mikel forgot that Nigerians used to call him Chief Judge. That he was sitting on the bench, he was playing sideways football. They gave him a title, Majeko Bajemi. You know, he's forgotten all those parts. Now he's running his mouth away like... I don't follow, but somebody said that Mikel said, I said, come on, shut up. You're young. If you followed Chelsea because of him, I think there are more people who follow Chelsea because of Jose Mourinho than because of Mikel Obi. That's just the basic truth. Because the drama that Jose Mourinho brings, Mikel Obi was not really a loved player. They loved him. No, Mikel was not loved. If he gets he's forgetting his history, because my mom will say, if you don't know where you're going to, at least know where you're coming from so that you're not lost. Because if you don't know where you're coming from, you don't know where you're going to, that's when you're lost. If you don't know where you're going to, you should know where you're coming from so that you go back to where you're coming from and re-strategize. But if that's what they think, is that his version of the story, let him have his own truth to himself. I'm not going to even get involved in all this nonsense. But people say the problem with Hamilton and Mercedes is because Red Bull advanced way ahead of them with a brilliant driver in Max Verstappen. Ferrari have also stepped up with the likes of McLaren. Now, I was saying, because it's the same engine that is in Mercedes that is in McLaren. So, I was saying that all of a sudden the engine, because it's not just Lewis Hamilton now. Lewis Hamilton is a bad driver. Valtteri Bottas was always third or second or fourth. All of a sudden, Lewis Hamilton is not driving. Valtteri Bottas is also not overtaking him. And I mean, something is just not. It looks to me like it is rigged. I'm short of saying that this whole thing is a script. When he got to 7, to make it easy for him to just get to 8 and overtake Schumacher will be a problem. And if Valtteri Bottas is not running ahead of him, they'll say, oh, it's the same car. Why is Lewis Hamilton not? So this whole thing is just, I don't know. I don't want to use the word scripture, but it doesn't fit into the narrative that I want to have in my head. Because if McLaren is overtaking Mercedes and it's supposed to be the same engine, then I have a problem, because a good driver doesn't just run a bad driver. That's the one that I cannot even relate with. Olafati said the party affected them to the extent they couldn't train on Tuesday, or was it Wednesday? So that too could play a huge part in their performance. Abdul Ibrahim say, what should Babayaro say? That Mikel podcast don't enter in head too much. Habib Ayodeji says, did you talk anything about Bayern? Maybe I didn't read it too. I didn't see that one, okay. Habib Ayodeji say, my eye they pain me. I've been waiting, I did see. Boss, where United, you say, I think I don't explain why. I don't feel explain again. Any man I say, good morning, bro. This JC sits well on you. Can you please wear it all day? As I finish now, the good pull up. Paul Obi say, good morning, Mr. Daffy. What do you think about Super Eagles list? I don't think anything. There's no player that is on the list that's not on the list that they could have invited. Now the best player we will get with that. We always have. I've always said that we have it on the Bravo team, but people didn't agree. So my lip is said. I define money to go with you. Now that's all I want to hear. I want somebody to come and say your account now, I send you the money. That's all. Anything about the list, leave it like that. Abi Bayadeji say, I'm a Remo staff fan. The defeat on Sunday, they pay me die. I wasn't happy. I was hoping that they would get to draw at least in that game. But hey, it is what it is. Football sometimes you don't always get what you think you deserve. You know that I say, no wonder my travails in the media scene in Lagos wasn't surprising to see. Uncle E, you have seen it all. Seems this unprofessional practice is the template with media in Nigeria. Try it be things so, my dear. You see that thing that you were facing at TVC? Yeah, TVC, right? And you know when you complain, I told you I shy play with this. We've seen worse. It's just one of those things. This is probably why their Australian Angie bashed them that the club has no vision and interest to succeed. It's true. I wrote to Rega say, Chief, you they happy now. Everybody want make Man City. No, I actually wanted Man City to win. You see the punishment for Man U winning. You see what I'm wearing. So I'm not happy. I wanted Man City to win. I wanted Pep to do the double-double. You know I'm a Pep fan. Forget all this talk. I wanted Man City to win. Chooks, I should say, loving the red team look of your shirt, headphones, and chair. It's giving me ideas. Talk the truth. You sold us this chair, and you're feeling like everything is blending. Talk the truth. What's your take on Andy Slot, chance at Liverpool, and do you think Arteta needs a striker? Where would Havertz fit in? So it's not about where would Havertz fit in. Arsenal needs a striker. There are games where I would rather have a striker. Arsenal need a striker. Arsenal need a right winger who will undo Bukayo Saka. I hate waking up every day and people saying that Bukayo Saka is Arsenal's best player. That's the reason why Arsenal will not win anything. If Bukayo Saka is Arsenal's best player, then Arsenal is not a good team, because at best Bukayo Saka is an average player. And again, Bukayo Saka is a 75% player. What I mean by 75% is, since he burst into the scene, Bukayo Saka does not play more than there's a 25% of the season where he goes completely off. And every time Arsenal have failed, whether it is failure to make the top 4, whether it's failure to win the title this last 2 seasons, is because of that 25% window. Because the team is programmed in such a way to make Bukayo Saka like the poster boy, the Thierry Henry of the team. But it doesn't give you what Thierry Henry gives you 100%. So there's a problem. Thierry Henry scored 25 goals and gave you 20 assists in the season, right? This guy doesn't do all of that. So why not give him competition? I'd rather he gives me 10 goals 5 assists. Another person come give me another 10 goals, 5 assists. That's like 20 goals, 10 assists from the two of them. Then just have him give me 15 or 12 goals or 17 goals and give me 10 assists alone. I don't like them. I want options. So that in the days where some teams think that, oh, we've locked them down, because now, once you shut down Bukayo Saka, you almost successfully have shut down Arsenal, which is not good. So another player should come in to bring in dynamism. Look at Jeremy Doku yesterday. When he came in, a true Man United fan will agree that they were in panic mode because it was a thorn in the flesh. But Wan-Bissaka, you know, this game, that FA Cup victory was written in the skies. There was nothing that was going to change it. If not, Wan-Bissaka was really a thorn in the flesh of the Man United defense. But hey, it is what it is anyway. Let's push forward. You say, okay, I read that one. Henry Morris say, great show this morning. I begin to pay attention to Chelsea when Jose Mourinho came and he was bullying Wenger. Henry Morris say, not Mikel Obi. Ajulo Gabriel say, what do you think about Sadiq Ismail? Oh, I think he's a good player. I think if given the support, the necessary support, and if he doesn't get overwhelmed by the environment, listen, if you match into that environment of the Super Eagles players, it can be very, very intimidating. If he doesn't get overwhelmed by the players, and if he's allowed to play, and he's not judged by his maybe first mistake, because again, when a young player plays with big players, there's going to be that moment where the pass comes to you, you miss it. Let the miss not go be like a Steven Gerrard slip up, right? If you miss it and the player says, don't worry, you know, come on, then it goes well. But then I don't know how the coach is going to use him anyway, but he's a good player. He's a player that is needed. But let's hope that he does what he does in training and convince the coach enough that I can mix it up with these guys. The gulf is big. You know, it's like as the heavens are higher than the earth, the gulf between the European-based players and the players from the NPFL is very big. We can cry and complain for their invitation, but you see, if you've ever been to the Super Eagles camp without being told, you know how when you go to church, like all this hybrid church, like Redeemed, City of David, Christ Embassy, House on the Rock, or the Daystar. If you stand on the side, just park for the road, make the church close. You can isolate all the house help from the children. It's very easy. And you know, like I used to say that if I can separate your house help from your children, you're a bad person. You know, so it's the same thing when you go to Super Eagles camp and you just stay aside. You don't know the home base player, you don't know the foreign base player. Just stay aside and observe. You will see the difference. You know, they take time. Like you just see the difference. Oh, okay, this one. That's the local player. That's the one. So if you can get past there, then it's fine. Ajulo Gabriel says. I think he is one of the best right back we have. His crosses are very good. There's no argument about it. There's actually no argument about it. They say, giving Osimhen prowess in the air, I think it should be a good compliment from the right-hand side with crosses if he plays. Okay, let him deliver in the training, rub in well, mix in well, and then we'll see how it goes. Right now, I think that position should work for him, but let's see. The final one is Olafa Sebos. Concerning the Formula One, is definitely the engine, because Red Bull built an engine that they even went to test in space. So Red Bull bypassed a protocol in their engine which is making them faster. So you really believe that story that they went to space to test their engine? Sure, man, not talk. Man, let me know. Let's just have that conversation now. This conversation, let's move it on. So you really believe that Red Bull took all those crew, they went to space to go and test the engine? You see how media are good. You see, this is exactly what I keep saying, that anybody can shape your perception of things. They can create something for you to believe. Something where they can't go space station for Houston, go test. You say you believe say they really go space. Okay. And this is where we say cut, right? In movie production, we say cut. This is where we cut. Thank you very much, everyone. For those of you who will not click the like button, I don't know what I do now. but God will still bless you now. Those of you who've been part of the show from the beginning to now, thank you very much. Those of you who clicked the like button, thank you. Those of you who commented, thank you very much. Those of you who sent a message on WhatsApp and I did not respond, sorry, no verse. Next time, go to this YouTube comment section and I will answer. All right, thank you very much for all the love, all the support, and all the push. My name is Daffy Mathias Segonet. You love to come in the level of sports. Congratulations once again to Manchester United and their fans, Bobby and Chiri. Thank you for putting me under this Manchester United jersey. Okay, God bless you guys and have a wonderful day. Like I always say, I need help. When they help you, don't be the guy who puts down the people that help you. Don't, okay? They open road for you, don't be saying you will block door for the person who open road for you. This is how I call it a break. Tomorrow again, I'll be here. You have yourself a wonderful start of the new working week and be the very best of who God created you to be. Bye-bye, and have a wonderful day.